They called him a coward, a shadow that always ran, but when darkness came for his city, he became the light that saved them all. In the city of Veron, nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling sea, life was as carefree as the wind that rustled through the orange groves. It was a city where laughter echoed in the marketplace, where children chased pigeons in the town square, and where the tavernese nightly serenades were the only disturbance to the peaceful hum of daily life. People often said you could sleep with your doors unlocked and your person guarded, that is, until the day the world turned upside down, for out of nowhere a ruthless warlord descended upon the city. His army, a tempest of steel and fury, swept through the peaceful streets, scattering the citizens like autumn leaves in a storm. They demanded Veron's surrender and vowed to punish anyone who defied them. In an instant the carefree laughter was replaced by the clanging of steel and the city's tranquil beauty marred by the dark stain of fear. Veron was a city of merchants and traders, not warriors, so when the warlord's goons stormed through their gates, their defenses crumbled as quickly as their hopes for peace. The proud warriors of Veron fought valiantly, but they were soon overpowered and imprisoned, their defiant cheers silenced by the cruel laughter of their captors. Among the fallen was Elric, a childhood friend of young Talon. Before succumbing to his wounds, Elric entrusted Talon with a secret, a hidden cache of weapons beneath the town square, enough to arm 200 men, weapons that could tip the scales of war if they reached the right hands. As days passed, hope began to dwindle in Veron. Most people saw no way out of their predicament. Some plotted revenge, some prayed for mercy, and some, like Talon, struggled with what to do next. Meanwhile, the warlord grew impatient with the lack of obedience in the city. To break the spirit of Veron, he decided to destroy everything that gave the city joy, starting with the town square. It was here that children played, merchants traded, and lovers strolled. It was the heart of their community, but now it would become the warlord's execution ground. On the day the warlord planned to destroy the town square, Talon slipped away from the city, hoping to warn the villagers about the danger lurking at the heart of their city. But before he could reach the outskirts, a squad of elite soldiers blocked his path. Trapped, Talon had only one option left: to hide. Hoping the soldiers would forget about him, he squeezed into a narrow space between two stalls, feigning unconsciousness. But then he heard something that made his heart pound, a plan to set a trap for the unsuspecting townspeople. They wanted to lure the townsfolk to the square under the false pretense of a surrender negotiation, but really it was just another ploy to humiliate the citizens of Veron. Once everyone was assembled, the soldiers planned to seize them all. Rage boiled inside Talon, hot and strong like molten gold. This wasn't just about strategy or tactics anymore, it was about his city, his home. Suddenly, Talon wasn't thinking about running or hiding. Fear had frozen him in place, then pushed him forward, propelling him into action. With newfound determination, he picked up a discarded cloak and fashioned it into a blindfold. Then he moved from stall to stall, carefully opening each one, letting the townspeople know about the trap laid out for them. Though scared, the people were grateful for the warning. Together they devised a new plan. As the warlord's soldiers entered the square, expecting a crowd of unarmed civilians, they were met with fierce resistance. The townspeople, armed with pitchforks and whatever they could find, drove the soldiers back. Chaos erupted, swords clashed, shouts echoed, and the very foundations of the square trembled with the fury of the battle. It was then that Talon knew he couldn't remain hidden. The fate of Veron, of everyone he cared about, rested on his shoulders. With a deep breath he emerged from his hiding spot. The sight that greeted him almost made him turn tail and run. The warlord's soldiers vastly outnumbered the villagers, but something had changed in Talon. Fear was still there, gnawing at him, but it was overshadowed by something else, a burning determination to protect his home. He didn't have a fancy sword or armor, so he did what he did best, sneaking around, disarming the soldiers and making sure they never saw him coming. Seeing someone fighting back emboldened the villagers. Their numbers swelled, their morale soared, and the tide of the battle slowly turned. By the time the sun began its slow descent, the warlord's forces were in full retreat, leaving behind the town square, which was littered with weapons and weary warriors. Veron was saved. And as the townspeople celebrated their hard-won victory, they looked for Talon. They wanted to thank him, to congratulate him, but he was gone. He slipped away as silently as he had come, leaving behind only a whisper of his name and the echo of his bravery. From that day on, Talon was no longer the coward who ran from danger. He was the hero who had led Veron to safety. The tale of how even a coward's step into the light can spark the courage of thousands was told and retold for generations. The simple townspeople of Veron proved that it doesn't take superpowers or magical powers to be a hero. All it takes is a brave heart and the will to do what's right.